I mean, I've surveyed for hellbenders a lot, working hard, and you're lucky if you can even catch a couple in a day. And back in the 70s and 80s, they would be finding a hellbender under every third rock they look under, you know. So I can't imagine the volume and the numbers that they had seen. I mean, Missouri had tens of thousands of hellbenders out there, and our estimates today are around 2,200 animals left in the wild. And so this big decline that we see, we don't see very little recruitment, little guys. We've worked very hard with all of our conservation partners to develop conservation plans, recovery plans. We immediately listed Ozark and Eastern hellbenders as state endangered in 2003 in our state to further protect them under those laws. And but we also knew when we looked at all the data, we did what's called habitat modeling, population habitat viability assessments, where we modeled populations under different scenarios as a flooding, disease, different outcomes. And basically what we saw when we modeled these things in the mid-2000s is this animal's going extinct. There's no doubt it's going extinct. In every model we would run, they're going extinct. Meantime, we started trying to breed hellbenders at the St. Louis Zoo back in the mid-2000s. We failed at first. Females laid eggs, but then the males wouldn't fertilize them. Their sperm did not look good. We tested things, did things. We changed up the ionic concentrations at the zoo. We've learned quickly that conductivity plays a large role in activating sperm in males, and especially in amphibians, aquatic. And plus we have stream team units that pick up the trash. It's always good to get the trash out of the river. You don't want tires in the river. You don't want people's radios with rusty batteries dropped in the river. You want to take those out. Just keep the river clean, and try to keep trees along the edge of the river. Protect the riparian zone. The planting of trees maintains the river channel as narrow. It flushes the channel better. As the trees are removed, water flows into the river much faster. It brings in sediments and fines. So think about the trees along the edge of the rivers that are there. They stabilize the banks. They're like a coffee filter. When it rains very hard, it slows down the rain. And when you make impervious surfaces along rivers more and more, the flow of water just goes faster and faster, and it can do more damage to the river. It's not buffered. And you see that even in a city. I mean, everything's paved. It goes fast down a road until it gets underneath the roads. I mean, surfaces that are not made to slow down rainfall and absorb it will cause more catastrophic flooding in the future. So keeping the trees on the river will protect the property and protect the river so much more in the long run. So it's good. Now, if I was other animals, but it's, breeding seasons for all animals that you try to propagate or rear, it is going to be different. I mean, you might know a lot more about breeding snakes. I mean, it's a little bit different. Trying to propagate a big aquatic salamander in water takes a big footprint. You can't just do it in a closet. It's not going to happen that way. I mean, you can do that with some lizards and snakes and other stuff. I mean, turtles are even harder. You just got to have a bigger footprint to do that. But everything in general, they have their timing of mating, especially in the wild. Certain species, I mean, this is frogs and salamanders, mostly made here in Missouri in late winter, early spring into early summer. So that's their window. So the photo period is crucial to when they're going to start their cycling. Air temperature, rain definitely moves animals to wetlands to breed. So there's all types of triggers out there environmentally to help with reproduction, especially with aquatic species, mass migrating species.